Okay, hello YouTube. My name's Andrew and I'm just starting my channel, and I thought I'd give you an update on what I've been up to. I'm currently selling my MX5 slash Eunos slash Miata 1.6 Auto. Once I've sold that, I'm going to be moving on to perhaps investing in salvage auction Copart car. I'll just take you through the car I've got for sale at the moment. It's a Mark 1 1990 MX5 1.6 Auto. It's got that classic late 80s, early 90s faded red paint. These were taken in the rain, and I did put on the advert, don't be fooled by the pictures. The paintwork is very, very faded. You can kind of see from this corner. It's kind of cloudy. People have buffed it so many times that it's kind of gone through to the undercoat in places. It's got. It needs. If you buff it, it shines okay, but it needs a new paint job. I've drove it for a couple of years around and not bothered. I've put some of these hollow spoke, they're kind of early 90s Eunos alloys on them. I think they're quite smart. It had some horrible multi-fit Chavy alloys on there when I got it. Really unpleasant 15s. These are the original 14 size with the correct size tyres. The 1990 would have come with the daisies, which are maybe most people are familiar with. These were on a couple of 92, 93 special editions, and these are the version with the hollow spokes. So they're about the lightest alloy that came on the MX5. And we also have Mark 2.5 seats, a lot more comfortable than the Tombstone Mark 1 seats with the speakers in the headrest, which look kind of cool, but aren't very tall, particularly at the back. I'm quite long-bodied, and Europeans 5'10", and bigger than the average Japanese man probably, and the headrest kind of finished below my neck on the original seats, and these bolt straight in on the same runners from the 2.5, and are actually quite supportive and comfortable. Catback dual exit stainless steel exhaust from Moss Brothers. Quite loud, but sounds pretty good, and stainless steel. So the old one basically rotted out, and I got them at a good price. It also had some horrible kind of clear 90s style lenses, and I sourced these original ones and put them back. It's got the Eunos import, obviously badges, Roadster Eunos, and the smaller Japanese number plate, which I think suits the car better. Mark II vinyl hood, not brilliant. I don't particularly like the colour, but the one that was on there when I bought the car was shot, and they're a lot easier to live with the glass rather than the scratched, horrible faded plastic. Rear screen heater, although it's not hooked up. 122,000 kilometres, which is about 74,000 miles. You see there's tiny little splits in the vinyl, and there's one down by the hinge, but nothing that's got worse since I put the hood on a couple of years ago, to be honest. Got relatively new seals on the doors. It's up to £370 so far. 20 bids, sorry. 9 bidders. Had some good activity yesterday. Nothing too much today, but it's Friday night. It's finishing on Sunday night. Hopefully that's a good time to finish. I tend to be when I like my auctions. I'm quite honest in my auctions. I put the good points and the bad points. The seals, it has got 11 months MOT, which is the roadworthiness check in England. So it's got 10 months left on that, and on that the seals were described as rusty, corroded, but not weak. They will need doing at some point in the future, as happens on every MX5, certainly in England with the salt on the roads and the rain. They do go, but relatively fresh MOT. The chassis and the good condition. nearly 76,000 miles. Sorry. Engine runs very nicely. I stripped the top of it, head off it last year, and reconditioned all the. It's got like hydraulic tappets in it, which can be very clicky on most of the Mark ones, and this starts up lovely now. Never let me down. Runs very nicely. Had a few heating issues from standing for so long when I first bought it, but I changed the oil and I did the what's it called? The vacuum pressure valve on the automatic gearbox, which helps it change more smoothly. Done the belts, transmission oil, so it's got the new exhaust. I got a newer alternator for it because the old one just didn't seem to be up to the job. It's got Ray Brigg headlights, which are the Japanese upgrade. H4 lenses. You can't see it on the photo, obviously they're concealed, but rather than the fixed beam lamps that you'd have to go to a car part store for, you can just buy the H4s anywhere. And they're a lot brighter as well. Everything apart from that, it's fairly standard. The people that have bid so far, looking at their history, the two main bidders seem to be people that are going to break it, which is a bit of a shame. But there are good parts on there, and somebody makes some money on it. So I haven't got the time to do that at the moment. So I'll give you an update when that comes in. Hoping for about 500. That's about what I paid for it a few years ago, to be honest. So it won't be too shabby. As you can see, if you noticed a minute ago, advert over here for Copart. That's what I'm planning to reinvest the money in. I've got a Copart about 45 minutes drive from me in Sandwich, which is a place in England where the sandwich was invented. So it's not named after a sandwich. The sandwich is named after it. But I can see why some people would think it was a bit of a bizarre name. So there we go. And they've currently got around 800 cars. $851. I think that's about 2 weeks worth. Next auction, that's auction on the 1st, and then first and the 8th. So yeah, about 425 a week. A lot of cars. So I'm going to do another video looking through these, seeing what maybe I'd like to buy with the money. Looking for kind of a compact 5-door hatch auto if possible, because my wife only drives automatic cars. Looking to replace one of our bigger cars as a commute, because we share a car to work at the moment, or flip, depending if we like it. But something low mileage, reasonably easy to sell. I'd like to get it in a common colour. I don't have access to paint booth or anything, so something that I can get if I need panels. I can get the matching colour from the scrap yards will be great. So a common car in a common colour would be great. Bit of a newbie to this. I'm quite handy with the spanners, but I don't want to be doing loads to my first car. I'm just kind of trying to dip my feet into the water. So I'll do another video looking at some of the cars I'm interested in. Maybe do one at the yard if we can get video footage. Kind of inspired by a few of the YouTube channels I watch. BS for Builds, one of the big ones, obviously. Sam Crack, he's a really useful guy for giving you info on this kind of buying some salvage cars. And then my favourite channel is probably Unwrecked, which is a bit less well known, but building quite quickly. And he's a really cool guy, Todd. He does this in Pennsylvania, I wouldn't say, in the States, but Copart's like around the world. So yeah, I'll do a video on the cars I'm interested in, and also do one once I sell the Mazda and it gets picked up. So hopefully I'll get good money for that.